The Greediest Women by Zodiac Sign. There are women who can charm with one look, and then will not give a cent. For them, everything has a price. Attention, feelings, even time. They do not tolerate losses, always strive to take more than they give, and do it so skillfully that those around them do not even immediately understand how they have become part of their personal benefit. Today you will find out which zodiac signs give birth to the greediest women, those who can smile and at the same time count in their minds how much you owe her for her kind attitude. This is not just everyday stinginess. This is energetic greed, a deep desire to control everything that brings benefits, from money to attention. If you want to know if there are such among your friends, watch to the end. And if you are interested in real esotericism, which reveals not only the strong but also the dark sides of character, subscribe to the channel. Here we speak without embellishment. Right now the exposure begins. Signs under which the greediest women of the zodiac are born. The first sign is Sagittarius. The Sagittarius woman can pretend that she is not interested in money, but in fact she counts every penny. She just does it silently. Her greed is not open, but strategic. She does not grab discounts and does not make scandals over trifles, but internally records who, how much, when, and for what. She knows the value of money and will not give a cent where she will not receive a benefit. Moreover, her benefit is not always monetary. It can be control, influence, recognition, the opportunity to take revenge. For this woman, everything is about money, the choice of people, places, actions. But she disguises it as spontaneity. Her strength is that she is greedy silently. She will never admit that she did something for self-interest, but it will be exactly like that. If she invests her resources, it means that this investment will return 100-fold. If she does not see a return, she crosses it out. Not demonstratively. She simply disappears. Money for her is not a luxury item, but a lever, and she is greedy not for things, but for the opportunity to control. She rarely lends money, and if she does, she remembers it for a long time. Her memory for financial debts is as accurate as a banker's. She does not like to spend just like that. If someone takes advantage of her generosity without giving anything in return, she cuts it off quietly. At the same time, she knows how to beautifully cover it up with a moral position, principles, or inner feeling, although in fact, it is simply unprofitable. She can be in relationships and friendships only with those who match her financial level or are higher, and not out of snobbery, but out of practicality. She does not like to share with someone who does not know how to earn money himself. She will not pay twice, neither for the mistakes of others, nor for other people's whims. At the same time, she does not need wealth for show. She just wants to know that she has everything under control. And when this is so, she is calm. A Sagittarius woman knows how to manipulate money. She may refuse to buy something in order to make her partner feel guilty and get more. She may pretend to be indifferent to finances in order to test the generosity of her interlocutor. She may invest in someone in order to get long-term benefits. Her greed is not stinginess, it is calculation. Cold, rational, without emotions. And if she gives something away, it is always part of a scheme. You can't just get time, attention, or resources from her. Her mathematics is behind everything. She is tolerant as long as she feels that she gets more than she loses. As soon as the balance is upset, she disappears, and it is impossible to return her generosity. The second sign is Leo. She does not ask. She demands. A Leo woman does not know how to be content with little and does not consider it necessary to hide her need for everything best. Money, gifts, compliments, resources. If someone is next to her, he is automatically obliged. Not out of goodwill, but because she does not perceive interaction differently. This is not greed in the classical sense. This is a system of internal value, where she is the top and everyone else is a supplier. She will not allow herself to be ignored. If someone bought a piece of jewelry for another woman, she needs twice as much. If someone brags about a vacation, she must have a 5-star hotel with a private pool. In her mind, any comparison must end with her superiority. And if this requires demanding, controlling, manipulating, or pressuring, she will not stop. A Leo woman does not like to share. If a box of chocolates appears in the house, she hides it. If she receives a bonus, she is silent. If she has a new source of income, she keeps it a secret. She has a strong inner conviction that resources are power, and power must be protected, guarded, and increased. In a relationship, she will not tolerate poverty, savings, or restrictions. The man who is nearby must be generous, and if suddenly he does not measure up, she will quickly find a replacement, and not necessarily in the person of another man. She is satisfied with the company of money, status, and demonstrative comfort. For this, she can endure boredom, moral emptiness, even betrayal, if in return she receives luxury, attention, and absolute financial security. But this is where real greed manifests itself. She does not just like to receive, she does not like to let go. If something becomes hers, she will do everything to hold on to it forever. This can be a person and status and money. She will fight, press, control, check, make scenes, just so as not to lose what she considers hers. Even in friendship, she often shows possessive traits. Her friend should not shine brighter, be more successful, richer. A Leo woman cannot sincerely rejoice at someone else's triumph if she herself does not receive applause at that moment. And if she does, she immediately begins to count how much exactly she got. Even the gifts she gives to others go through an internal filter. Is it too generous? What if it comes back to her less? She knows how to create an image of regal nobility, but inside everything is verified to the dollar, to the gram, to the sign. And if there is someone in her environment who is able to give more than she is receiving now, she will go to him. Not necessarily physically, she will communicate, hint, test boundaries, because her desire to possess is endless. Not because she lacks something, but because it always seems to her that there is more somewhere. And that means she needs to take it for herself. She does not spare efforts, does not skimp on words, is not limited in strategies. The Leo woman is strategic in her greed. Her plan is not just to accumulate, but to maximize. If more is possible, then everything is needed. And even when she already has everything, she continues to compare, demand, control. The paradox is that she knows how to do it beautifully. Her claims sound like requests, her ultimatums, like care, her control, like anxiety. She does not get into the wallet directly. She creates an atmosphere in which the man himself considers it necessary to give everything. And she does it with pride, unaware that he has found himself in a clearly planned system. The Leo woman does not ask, she takes, and she does it to applause. The third sign is Libra. She always has everything balanced. That's what she says. But if you look closely, it becomes clear. The balance works only in her favor. The Libra woman masterfully distributes roles, pretending to care about harmony, while gradually collecting everything she considers valuable. This is not loud greed. This is a quiet, almost imperceptible strategy where every action is aimed at the result, for her to feel good, and even better, very good. She does not ask for money, she expects. If a man is nearby, he should intuitively understand what she deserves. Gifts, dinners, trips, money on the card. All this should appear without unnecessary words. If he suddenly forgets, she is offended not openly, but exquisitely. The tone decreases. Tenderness disappears, distance appears, and the man begins to feel guilty. The Libra woman does not say directly, "Give me." She creates circumstances in which the other has no choice. She subtly hints, compares, asks questions, making a person feel that he is obliged. And if someone near her shows generosity, she instantly opens up, becomes affectionate, interesting, attentive. All this is an investment, calculated to the smallest detail. Her closet always has more than necessary: clothes for all occasions, cosmetics, accessories. She may be sorry to spend money even on a loved one, but for herself, any excuse will do. Her purchases are not a whim. They are proof of her own dignity. She will not admit that she is greedy. She will say that she is saving. In family life, a Libra woman very carefully monitors the overall budget, but not in order to distribute it, but in order to ensure that her share is maximum. She will not allow someone nearby to spend more than she does. She will monitor, record, indicate. Even if not out loud, inside she will keep score. And at a convenient opportunity, she will definitely voice it. She does not give away her last. She gives away what she does not mind. Even in helping friends, she will choose who is really beneficial, who can return something, who is worthy. This is not cynicism. This is an internal filtering system where kindness passes only through benefit. If she borrows, she will delay returning, not because there is no opportunity, but because there is a conviction. Why give if you can wait? At the same time, if someone owes her, she will not forget. She will remind subtly, with hints, but regularly. A Libra woman does not like to share her territory. If she has something valuable, be it the attention of a man, a job, an idea, she protects it with double energy. Any attempt to take from her is perceived as an invasion. And at the same time, outwardly, she remains polite, soft, diplomatic. Her greed is packaged in beautiful words, balanced phrases, and a perfectly chosen tone. But inside, strict calculation. She knows how much she has invested, how much she has received, and where the balance should be. The balance is always on her side. Her greed is not an impulse, but a system. Not a flash, but a lifestyle. And that is her strength. The fourth sign is Capricorn. The Capricorn woman does not throw money around and does not tolerate those who treat it frivolously. She does not consider it greed. For her, it is a healthy approach. Everything should be within limits. She will not allow herself to spend on emotions, spontaneous whims, or other people's whims. Each of her purchases is a verified decision. Every penny is under control. She lives with the conviction, not a single person in this world is worth getting into the minus for their sake. This woman's greed is structural. She will not allow herself to give something that is not provided for in her plan, not because she feels sorry, but because it is not the time, not the budget. It is inappropriate. She does not tolerate financial chaos, and if someone tries to drag her into chaos, she cuts them off immediately, even if this person is close. She has no sentimentality when it comes to money. She does not give in to pressure. If someone asks for help, she first evaluates how much it costs, literally and figuratively. If there is no benefit, or at least logic, she will refuse without hesitation. And she will do it dryly, without unnecessary words, simply and clearly. For her, this is not rudeness, but a principle. She does not spend, she invests. And if there is no return, there will be no investment. The Capricorn woman carefully monitors her financial flows. She may not tell how much she earns, but she will clearly know how much her partner, friend, or even casual acquaintance has spent. She strictly keeps internal accounting. Her greed is not ostentatious, but total. She will not tolerate squandering of her resources. And if she sees that someone is taking advantage of her trust, she will close access forever. Gifts from her are rare. If she gives, it means that the person really deserves it. Just like that. Never. Even a compliment is one for her. And if someone thinks that they can beg, coax, or pressure, they are wrong. She is unwavering. And this is what makes her dangerous financially. Because her refusal is final. Her greed is not for money, but for order. She is afraid of chaos. And therefore, everything that goes beyond her structure irritates her. She can be wealthy, successful, but she will still count and save. Not because it is little, but because it is right. This is a code built into her. She is greedy for the excess. If she thinks that it is enough, she will not give more to anyone. The fifth sign is Virgo. A Virgo woman analyzes everything, and if someone decides that he can use her generosity, he is very wrong. Her greed is intellectual. She never gives without a reason. Even if the help is insignificant, it must be justified. She will not lend money just like that, and will not make spontaneous spending for the sake of other people's emotions. She always checks whether it is worth her efforts. She does not demonstrate her closeness in money, but it is there, very clear. Her greed is manifested in constant assessment. Is the thing worth the money? Does the person deserve the investment? Will the gesture pay off? And if she feels that the result is not worth the investment, she will stop, without a scandal, without explanations. She will just say no. Virgo always knows exactly how much her attention is worth. She will not give resources to someone who does not live up to expectations. Even if it is a close person, she knows how to smile beautifully while completely refusing to participate in other people's expenses. Her boundaries in this matter cannot be shifted. She will not allow herself to be taken advantage of. Her greed is neat. She does not skimp on what is necessary, but will save on everything that she considers meaningless. She will not support a project, an idea, an event, if she does not see the benefit in it. She controls all the little things, and if she sees unnecessary expenses, she gets irritated, especially if these are expenses of others, but from her pocket. She never gives in advance, both in money and in emotions. Everything is after the result. Her coldness is often perceived as callousness, but in fact it is a filter. If a person proves that he is worthy, she will give. But until he proves it, she keeps her distance. And this applies to everything: gifts, help, investments. A Virgo woman can save for years while acting as if she has nothing. She does not brag, does not show, does not share. And if someone wants to cheat her out of money, he will not meet an emotional refusal, but a logically built barrier. She will explain on the shelves why she should not give. And she will be right. She is greedy not in the sense of pitiful. She simply does not give if she does not see the point in it. She believes that everything should be fair, and fairness, in her opinion, is when no one takes more than they give. And so she guards her resources, clearly, precisely, without compromise. Out.